Hello everyone, welcome to Financial Solutions with Samiti. I'm Samiti Shomba. This video today is about how to save when everything seems to be expensive. I compiled it because I get a bit of feedback from people, and the feedback I'm getting is that how do we actually save when it's becoming impossible to just even keep 5 in your pocket? So I thought, okay, since this is my area, I could give, my opinion on how to make it easy for you to save. So I have 5 strategies here. I hope that they help you. I hope that you find them insightful. So number 1, the first thing that I think we should now, do is accept that our old budget no longer works. I think that's the first stage in trying to put money aside. Accepting that things are not as they used to be. The cost of Coke is no longer the same as the current cost of Coke. The money that you were able to buy tomato sauce, mayonnaise, rice, cooking oil with can no longer now buy that. Now it can only afford you rice, tomato sauce, cooking oil. So I feel like the first step to taking action to be able to put money aside is accepting that things are no longer the way they used to be. This now requires a lifestyle adjustment. It requires you to stop buying. It requires you to budget for the small things, like even when you start your car and go somewhere. It now requires you to just adjust your lifestyle in general. So that is the first strategy that I'll give you. Your money no longer is the same as it was last year. It does not afford you the same things. Understand that and see what you can remove from your budget, what you can just now, completely do away with. Number 2, look for ways to create extra sources of income. In my line of work, because I get to travel and see other people in other different African countries, I've realized something different in them that we don't usually do in Botswana. So usually you would find, for example, a country like Malawi, just around the streets, just on the road as you're driving, while people are planting along the road. If their yards are too small to sustain maybe gardens, they actually go to the extent of planting kontera gajarata. So these are some ways. I actually know a relative in Zimbabwe who has a whole greenhouse erected in her yard. The big sized ones. This lady, this auntie of mine, erected this greenhouse. So about greenhouse, that greenhouse, I've seen it before. So think of what you have. What you have, is it a skill that you can use to make that extra pula? Is it maybe an asset that you have, that one room left in your house that nobody utilizes? Perhaps it's time now to consider renting it out to someone. Think of whatever it is that you have that you know that you can just turn into income. Create that income stream, because as I've said, firstly, your money, your current income from your job might not be enough. So you need to have a little bit extra coming in. Number 3, save your whatever way you are saving. I would encourage you to maybe opt for an organization that can deduct from source. Now, this is some of the advantages of saving in a SACCOS. It is that we deduct mostly from our members. We deduct their income from source. With stop order, sometimes it can get a bit tricky. We all know sometimes, months get tight, or you actually remove money before that stop order gets that money. So I would advise to say, have an arrangement, ask them to deduct from source. Because if we don't have a relationship with your employer, we actually allow you to allow us to talk to your employer to deduct for you from source. And by the way, SACCOS is not just for government employees. In fact, most of our members are from the private sector. So call our office to just find out how you can become a SACCOS member. Number 4, in my experience at work, I've learned that most people save when they actually have, an objective, a reason for saving. That's how people are encouraged to save. If a person says, can I holiday in December, they'll utilize, what we have in Sisiro, your Christmas saving product. So that's another way to try and encourage yourself to save. Have that objective. I want to achieve X, Y, Z. I want to buy a car. Make sure you have an objective for your savings, because that will actually keep you motivated to actually put that money aside. Number 5, we've all had this one before. We talk about it a lot. Manage your spending wisely. Buying food, buying that lunch is no longer sustainable. Pakas kaptin. Driving around without an objective, comes against city, that is eating away from you, from your fuel budget. So maybe managing the way our expenses in our households, what we used to do and now which we are finding difficult to do, maybe doing that also it helps. Before you go to that shopping store, make a grocery list. Better list. If it's not in your list, don't get it, because that's how you actually end up spending more than you planned to do when you get to a shop. Compare prices in the supermarket before you actually go and buy. Don't just make an impulse decision when I'm going to X supermarket. Sit down first or compare. We have an app, I don't know, I forgot the name of that app, where you can actually use to compare prices before you can go and buy. Reduce impulse purchases. Times do not allow for that. Limiting unnecessary subscriptions and services. Your Netflix, DSTV. Try to maybe see what you can go without, so that you are able to put aside that extra 5 pula to save. Look for promotions and discounts. Ask in the shops, when are we going to have specials? That can also help us manage our expenses and be able to save. I hope you found this video insightful. I hope the strategies will come and help you in order to make that extra buck, so that you can actually also save, that extra 5 pula. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section what else you would want me to share on. Thank you. Bye.